Good.
This is the Tufton Borough Budget meeting on January 6th, 6 p.m. Call to order. We have a quorum. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public input.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pete Dancy. I work
Hello, I'm Heather Dancy.
just listening in.
Yeah, we just wanted to come introduce ourselves. Some of you we know and some we don't, and be here to support the town.
We ended up at the country music line dancing building instead, and we were like, "Are we sure it's here?" I guess we'll go there next.
Yeah.
I think
That's a better time.
Maybe we should do that.
Contra dance, is it the contra dance thing they had?
Approval of minutes. So you should in your packages on Thursday receive the December 9th, 2025 minutes and the December 16th, 2025 minutes. Does anybody have any thoughts, comments, adjustments?
I don't. I make a motion to approve December 9th and 16th as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0. All right, any member comments? The only comment I have is to go back to the selecting meeting of December 29th and look at the 1 hour and 3 minute discussion. There's a different analogy as to how the budget should be done, but I'll let you form your own view on it. We should take a quick look. One of the meetings got canceled, so because of the special election coming up, and so we should probably see whether we don't want to put an additional meeting in to replace that one. So the January 20th meeting is canceled on the Tuesday.
Do you think we'll be able to get everything wrapped up on the 27th and the 3rd?
It depends where they are with the warrant articles. I don't know whether, Dave, where you guys are with your warrant articles.
We'll be doing the lion's share of that work on the 20th.
Right, they're at the townhouse all day,
Yeah.
so they got plenty of time as far as the 20th goes, as long as it should give us, 2 meetings.
2 meetings to
Yeah.
finish it.
All right, and we could always pull another meeting in
If had to.
during that week of the 26th week.
Mm-hmm.
We may have to do another meeting on that. So I think we should just keep that in mind. We may have to, depending on how it goes.
So, ixnay the 13th tomorrow. right?
The 20th,
Yeah.
20th, yeah.
the 13th stays, which is unfortunate. Would be better the other way. Okay. Okay, budget items for consideration. Oh, sorry. Open requested items. So there are really, I have 3 items. One is I have an open request still for the procurement process for the waste management contract. So the times when it was discussed at selectmen meetings, the process that went on before us awarding the contract, when the last bid was done on the contract, and any other information that relates to that contract.
Do you want the procurement policy as well?
I have a procurement policy.
Okay. And you should also have the most recent contract for that vendor
Yeah.
in your inbox.
Yeah,
Yep.
we have that.
Got that. And then another open item is the funding of docks, where the money came from, where it's planned to come from. So understanding where that cash
I'm gonna defer to the selectmen.
is, they, for the town administrator, for the selectmen to
Bring us to the,
Yeah.
yeah, bring us back with the information.
And then I just want to, there's the warrant article, if we can just go through where the warrant article account statuses for 2025 and prior warrant articles. There were some open questions, some things that had to get corrected. And so I'd like to see that for our next meeting and review it, so that can go out in the mail out, along with making sure we've answered all the prior questions.
We'll add that to your list.
Do you understand what the request is?
The first two I do, and the third one, we've done the warrant article status before.
Okay.
I think the second one you could address because we discussed it last night.
I think we-
Do you want to talk about the docs?
I think we can talk about it. I want to get a detailed understanding of where the money comes from and where it's coming from and which budgets and which accounts and
How much?
the funding and the funding, yeah.
Yeah. It's fully paid at this point out of the remaining budget from Parks and Rec. So it's been paid
So out of the existing town budget.
out of the existing operating budget of the Parks and Rec department.
Okay, so
What line items were used to expend?
So my next request is to ask for a detailed run of the expenditure account by invoice for the last 2 months. So I want to see, just run it right out of the system.
For Parks and Rec?
No, for every account. Just an invoice run. So I can see all the invoices that were paid for the last 2 months.
I'll take that action.
Does anybody else have any other open items? Okay. After our last meeting, which was the joint meeting with CIP, there was some concerns expressed by the town administrator. And so I think it's the time to address them. So Audrey, I'll let you go.
Thank you. So I've been involved with budget process for 35 plus years. A great deal of that was in the private sector, but I've also been on both sides in the municipal sector. And in my experience, when information is provided prior to meetings, the committee or manager or whoever will often have questions, and there's a dialogue prior to the whole meeting taking place. This allows for a more productive meeting. So if you see errors or questions or something looks off, it gives the department manager a chance to address that. So when they come into the meeting, then several people are more productive. In several instances, including the review of the personnel administration, a list of questions or statements is fired off before the presenter even has a chance to talk, even before they've opened up the folder. And in that instance, I'm not thinking to myself, twice this year, I've had to re-listen to the video to make sure I've gotten all of the things that were fired off. So when, I want clarification on some of that. It's just very fast, where I try to take notes to help the department manager, or in the last meeting when it was myself, I couldn't even take the notes. I was like, what? So again, I find that a little unproductive, actually very unproductive and very frustrating. And I feel like if we try hard to get the packages out to the budget committee 4 or 5 days prior to a meeting, it does give an opportunity, and it doesn't have to just be the chairman. Anyone can say, I really don't understand this. Can you ask that department manager, or go directly to that department manager and ask them, when you come to the meeting, can you bring clarification? So that's what my frustration and my email stemmed from. And I knew I wouldn't have time to rewatch the video prior to my vacation, so I did, in my email where I expressed frustration, I asked you to give me a list of questions because I knew I was leaving. So that was my frustration that night.
Go ahead first.
So, to me, the budget process is, as it's always been run for the last 4 years here, that I've been on the budget committee, where people come in, they present their budgets, they get asked questions. I do spend a lot of time, Audrey, before these budgets, before I walk into this meeting, having gone through every single budget in detail to make sure that I understand what's in those budgets and to ask the questions. I'm assuming that the people that walk in here that are presenting the budgets on behalf of the town, on behalf of their departments, understand those budgets as well as I do at that point, if not better. Right, and I don't think that's an unreasonable understanding in my 35 years of having done this kind of work. So I don't think that is an unrealistic expectation. I can tell you that the police chief and the fire chief have come in here. We've had some very, frank discussions around budgets, and we have a very good relationship with them, and those have worked out very well. You know why? Because they care very deeply about their budgets being correct, and you can tell, and you can see it. I look back at that meeting that you sent that email on, and literally I was going through that sheet at the time and asking you questions, just like I would do with anybody else, and pointing out things. There was nothing about it that had any tone to it. And I haven't for anybody else in this committee to express a view on that, but that generally is my feeling on it. So I don't know what's going to change as it relates to this, but I think you have the responsibility to get what you present to the budget committee correct, and we have a responsibility to review it. And between those two places, there'll be questions, obviously, and they'll be addressed in the meeting, at committee. That's the way I sort of see it working.
So, as I did tonight, and to Audrey's point, I'm going to continue to make sure that both parties are clear before they leave here when there are questions, because I understand Audrey's frustration. I too have had a hard time knowing exactly what was being asked for. I don't need to answer those questions, so I need less clarification, but I'm going to make sure, as I did tonight, that when questions are asked for additional information, that both parties have a clear understanding before they leave. In most cases, it's for Audrey because she's the one being requested. So, so I'll ask for tonight. Is there any other? Do you need any clarification on the 4 requests that are out for this evening?
No, but I guess I could set expectations. So for, I'm having a little bit of a fine line where, it's a selectmen's meeting or myself. So for example, in the procurement process for waste management. It didn't go out to bid. I have looked, I can't find the prior process. I can find the prior contract, but nothing about the process. So there just isn't going to be information about the prior one last time it went out.
Then that's what you come back to us with. Then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. We're asking questions. You do your due diligence, and if you can't find anything, you say, I found this, I found this, I found that. I was not able to locate this, this, or this. We made the request, you can just fill in the blanks, that's fine. If that blank has no information, the blank has no information. But you did look back and you fulfilled the request that was made by the budget committee. It's pretty simple. You're right, you might not find anything. But we're asking for there to be a real due diligence look.
And I think we're also asking for it to be a really thorough answer that is correct and not just something that comes to mind in the moment. And so I think what you're hearing right now is a high degree of frustration that's happened over a long period of time here, where we've gotten answers that are not full, that are not complete, and things that aren't a good at it. Trust me, everybody makes mistakes. Things happen, we understand it, but let's deal with the reality of what we're dealing with and not just not answer the question. Okay, and that's where the frustration really comes in.
And-
So,
Yeah, and I'm gonna back it up by saying, and we are, I think, the problem with the frustration coming from the budget committee is exactly that. And because there's been so much misinformation passed to us, that's what makes us ask more and more and more questions. If it comes to us clear, concise, and correct, we're gonna have a lot less questions and a lot less things we're gonna ask for. But this has been consistently it's not just miscommunication. There's just been things that have been missing and we have to ask for them. And I don't think it's our position, as to his point, the police department, the fire department, they obviously go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and they are ready to present every single number. And they have documentation and they have paperwork to back it up. And we'd like that to be across the board.
anything else?
I don't feel supporting the budget committee is my primary responsibility. When I worked in another town, the budget committee chairman came in and worked with me. He would look at files. So some of the information that we're trying to provide and maintain is almost ancillary to the day-to-day because of the amount of manpower we have. So I am doing my best, but I have a very long list. I have legal things I'm working on, I have personnel things I'm working on, and I'm balancing the best I can.
And the only response I can give to you is you should speak to the selectmen, because the RSA is very, very clear on this, that the budget committee is entitled to this information. The town is responsible for getting the information to the budget committee. I've tried very hard to be, number one, proactive, i.e. the highway department information that we worked on last year that never made an appearance this year. Haven't seen it, right? Didn't come out. Asked for that last year, spent a lot of time building the spreadsheet up so we could have something to look at. Asked for it in April when we had our first meeting, make sure it was getting done monthly. Hasn't happened, right? Still don't have it. So there is a need that the selectmen and you, as a town administrator, need to resolve as to how the budget committee is going to get the information that we're going to get. A lot of departments provide it, some departments don't. Those departments are responsible for providing that information. It's very clear in the RSA. So I think that's an issue for you and the selectmen as executives of this town.
In the budget season and budget committee, we only meet, yes, we have extended our meetings to just have like one in April and then start in August, but budget season is not year round. And that is a time management thing, which we know it comes around every year, and that's something that comes around that needs to be addressed. So that, again, that's a time management thing, and it's in the RSA.
Anything else?
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any other comments? No items for consideration. Budget items for approval. Did Jamie there? Yeah.
Yep, Jane.
Jamie's right there. Evening, everybody.
Evening.
How are you?
All right, you sir.
Good. Do you wanna just pull a chair up? We're
Come join
gonna.
us.
Oh, next you
Come
see
on.
here.
Right here.
Get the big chair.
That's right, we got one up.
You're filling up some big shoes here with
All
Gary's.
right.
So, how we doing?
Good.
Good. So, I think you all saw, and it was included in the mail out, but Jamie put together basically a reconciliation of why his payroll numbers were below the 2025 actual
Budget,
numbers.
yeah.
And that was a very comprehensive review. And really the primary reconciling items were that he had, one of his new officers was National Guard. And so there was about $6,000 worth of pay that he didn't get because he was doing National Guard duty, which he won't be doing in 2026. And another officer had some unpaid time off that won't be repeating itself in 2026. And we also have now the prosecutor, which is really going to fill up the part-time officer line item. So I think is that right, Jamie?
That is correct, sir.
So I appreciate that. And then the other thing, and this is for, I don't think we're gonna be, I'd like to get it done this year, but I doubt we're gonna get it done this year. There is a pervasive issue that exists in our budget. And what it is that, for instance, and I'll use the police department as an example, they have their drone. And they know that there could be $7,000 to $14,000 worth of expenses associated with maintaining and repairing that drone, right? Or they have uniforms that they need to provide to a new officer when the officer leaves. So they want to make sure they have that money in the budget in case it happens, which I understand. But there's a high likelihood
They don't use it.
they don't use it. It doesn't happen, right? So what I think would be really nice to do is to, and I think would be a smart thing to do, and I think would serve the town well, is create an expendable trust. Rather than putting that money in the budget, create an expendable trust. Say $20,000, right? And we put it aside and we know it's for uniforms, and it's for the drone going down, and it's for the, with all these other ancillary things, that if we use it, that we then replenish it next year out of the budget, and if we don't use it, then we don't have it in the budget. And that way, we're sort of taking out something that was unforeseeable, unpredictable.
Right, because we're just guessing at that.
We're guessing at that number.
Yeah.
We're putting it in an expendable trust account,
Yeah.
and we can have that. So I'm gonna let the selectmen now express their view on this.
Do you want to jump in, you want me?
I'm processing the processing.
Okay.
I see your point, but I also see risk.
I think the biggest concern right now is how tight our budget was already this year.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a hard time with that for two reasons, right? So for the two reasons, we've been over budget every single year by 200,000+. Okay, this year we're looking like we're 90,000 plus over, but we just took $20,000 to put money into docks. So that's 110,000 that we're over on our budget, right? And there was one other item that I just hit me 2 minutes ago that pushed that amount, I can't remember what it was, pushed that amount higher. So yeah, we're tight, but we're not, and we have not used our $75,000 contingency.
Correct.
So we have a 5% cushion, best I can tell. Right, so everybody says, I heard which I thought was really a terrible analogy, comparing our department heads to four-legged people who, bulls, that we don't allow them the ability to do. They do have the ability to manage their own budget. They manage it very closely. And they do it really, and the people who do it really, really well, right? But I think that the the notion of being sort of smarter about it is better. We're taking money that's not one-time money and moving it out. And then just making sure what we're in our budget is manageable. And having a 5% cushion is pretty reasonable, plus a contingency.
Are you, so you're planning on doing this for the police department. Are you planning on doing something like this for every department?
No, it'll just be, I think we'll start with the police and fire department. And one of the reasons for that is because they have the best handle on their budgets by far. I mean, they're kind of all over it. So they kind of know what's going on. And it really allows them, if I was Jamie, knowing that if something goes bad, I've got 25 grand in expendable trust that's gonna cover, my drone goes and 2 of my officers quit, and I gotta hire 2 new officers and 2 new uniforms. I've got that money set aside. I don't have to worry about it.
So are you thinking about doing something similar to that for, say, highway?
I don't know where it would apply in highway, but we could definitely look at it for highway.
I only asked that because, of course, that one is a wild card because of
Yeah.
weather more than anything else, obviously.
And that's really what the contingency was for.
That 75,000, that's the discussion we
Understood.
had for that.
Right, no, I understand.
And you may remember the budget committee pushed to make that 100 last year.
And I understand that as well.
Yeah, so I think to me, that is where you have really your cushion
So,
without pushing your tax base.
right. Do we need some clarity with regard to the difference between an expendable trust for overages and contingency?
No, no, and so, trustee of trust funds here. So, the town can set up an expendable trust for anything.
Mhm.
And the thing is, the contingency it's an expendable trust, they're all the same, it's the wording. So, that's basically.
That's what my concern is
It's
the
all it
wording.
has to be is the wording. It could be it could be a police department contingent expendable trust. As long as you don't say it's the police department cruiser expendable trust, you can
Keep it wide open, yeah.
You can spend for, repairs, maintenance, upkeep, you can say it's that, and it goes right within the RSA for an expendable trust fund. The capital reserve funds are totally different, so we're talking 2 animals under the same umbrella.
Yeah, no, I get
So-
that.
Same thing with the fire department, like if, for example, the uniforms, or say, their whatever system failed, and, one of the generators really went, and they had to spend something. You could do it for repairs, maintenance, upkeep, and you don't have to have it be for very specific items, but you can do that. Towns do it all the time. Other towns do exactly what he's proposing, and they use them all the time. Because I'm gonna just expound on that. So for the past 4 years, or 3 years, we'll go 3 years because this is when we kind of put our thing into place. How much has the town put into the undesignated fund balance from the overages, from the unspent budgets? Do we know those numbers?
It was whatever's left over at the end of the year.
I know, but do you have those numbers, 22, 23, and 24?
Oh, I'm sure that they're
Readily available.
available somewhere.
Right, so just because of the fact that that is there, why don't we set up these expendable trusts in lieu of doing and having so much extra to go into the undesignated fund balance? Because that undesignated fund balance is used to offset tax rate. We already have a big undesignated fund balance. What's the percentage? Can you guys tell me what that is?
Oh, it's low right now.
It's
We didn't
very
use any
low right
money.
now.
We didn't use any money to offset taxes this year because we didn't have it.
We didn't have it.
What, are you
What
10% or 11%? Are you 12%?
No, I think we're
20%?
down, I think we're down around 6%.
Yeah, we're down,
And I'm very uncomfortable with that.
yes,
Too
we're
of a
quite
number.
low.
No, but we're at like 900. Well,
Yeah.
we just had, here's that letter, it's 1.1 million or something. That's the number, 1.1 million against a $5.5 million annual budget, that's 20 something, it's like, but you have to include the warrant article, so say 6.5 million. So because we have it in that letter, we sent to DRA. But then that's 1.1 million or something.
So it's not that low.
Yeah, it's not that low. And it's good, we should have that, I agree with you. I don't want to see that go away. That's good, but I also don't want to,
don't we already have an expendable trust fund for the transfer station?
We may have, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah, it's for equipment.
Okay, but it
I
is,
forget the exact wording.
but it is a expendable trust fund.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
kind of, it's.
I know it's specific.
It's
Yes.
sort of specific. It's
Very.
a little loose, but it's kind of.
So this isn't really a new concept to
No,
anybody
it's
sitting
not.
here, I wouldn't
But
think.
what I'm hearing and my concern is that with an expendable trust, which is loosely written, as you're suggesting, I would think that the perception of the taxpayer would be that that is a slush fund.
You see, Bob, I think that this is one of those things where I have absolute conviction and comfort in standing in front of the town's taxpayers and saying to them, every year, we put $30,000 into our budget for the police department that relates to contingency events happening, which may or may not happen. And most of the time, it doesn't happen. And that just adds to your tax dollars. What we want to do is take that $30,000 and put it into a fund that we can draw on if and when it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then we don't fund it next year because we already have the funds available. And I have our voters are smart enough.
You and I see that, but there are people, I'm just talking about perception.
Yeah.
If they see a fund like that is not specific, it could very easily be called a slush fund.
But we have, historically speaking, the only warrant articles that have been a bone of contention and have not really passed in recent history, they eventually have passed, are the big ticket items, and our voters are smart enough. And the other caveat you can throw out is say, hey, it's gonna go into an expendable fund, and if we don't spend it, guess what? We're earning interest the whole time. So
Question, let's, for the sake of argument, say that we take $30,000 out of the police or fire budget. We go to an expendable trust. The voter can then not approve that, correct?
Yes.
So now we no longer have that money available to us.
And that's a risk that I see as well.
So we just ease into it. I don't think that the voters, listen, we had the same discussion around the capital reserve funds, and all I saw was hands flying up when we voted on that in the last town meeting. Because if you explain to them properly, our voters are smart enough to understand it, and they don't want to pay interest, and they don't want to spend more money than they have to spend. And I didn't see, there were a few people that are going to have a negative, as there always will be, but 90% of our voters, based on what I saw, hands went up, right? They voted in favor for it. I think they're going to understand this very clearly, that it's going to save them taxes in the future. And we need to do that because growing at 7, 8, or 9, or 10% a year is not going to be survivable.
So how is it that it's saving them taxes in the long run?
Because we basically next year, when we don't buy the 2 uniforms and there's no repairs required on the drone, that money's sitting there, so we don't have to put it into our budget anymore because we didn't spend it last year.
Okay.
So therefore, we don't have it in the budget, so the budget comes down. And when we do spend, so the drone goes, but the 2 officers don't leave, so we take 5 out of the expendable trust, we put that in, but that's a known expense. So what we're basically doing is funding expenses we have, and not funding expenses we think we may have potentially sometime in the future.
But you're also narrowing the margin of money available to give back to the taxpayer when it comes time to set the tax rate.
I don't even understand that, to be
It's
honest.
So
I have a really hard time.
it all goes back to the undesignated fund balance, right? So
It goes to account that we can control. That we can control, that offsets our budget, offsets our budget from increasing. The undesignated fund, we don't control, other than for you guys saying, okay, well, I'm gonna, some arbitrary number I'm gonna take out and put it in. And I don't even really understand it, because I think what we should just do is pay our taxes as we go.
So I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, I think what Bob's getting to is, like this year, we were unable to do anything with the tax rate from taking out of the undesignated fund balance. That's going to go on as long as we don't.
We're paying our taxes as we incur.
Right, because what's happening is you're taking money that you've already been taxed on but it's not curing the problem. You're just offsetting and delaying, because at some point, to his point, you're paying taxes as you go. So you've already been taxed, the money's sitting there in an undesignated fund balance. Then then you say, and you didn't take any last year, nobody took any, but all of a sudden, okay, well, we can take $400,000 and offset the tax rate. But then we're gonna have to put more money into the undesignated fund balance, so you're not paying as you go, you're just doing this, and that, that's not a realistic tax rate. What that is a tax rate that's been adjusted by taxable income.
What the taxpayers are gonna look at this year is we're gonna go to town meeting, and I'm gonna ask them for 5.526 million or something like that. And last year we asked them for 1.86 million, so we're asking them for 11.9% more. That's what they're looking at.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
Unless a warrant article by petition comes in for $500,000, which they didn't seem to think that it's gonna affect the tax rate, and their hands went right up, didn't they now?
Yeah, but they're not,
They don't care. It's just plain, they don't care.
well, maybe I don't know. I think there are people that do, the people who are on fixed income, whose tax rates are going up and down, yeah. No,
But point of order, you
Yeah.
keep saying taxpayers, but it's the voters. And there's only 160 of them come to town meeting, and there's a lot more taxpayers.
yeah, well,
That's what you gotta worry about.
Yeah, for the others.
May I make a few comments?
Sure, sorry.
Please.
No worries. I understand your point with this expendable trust fund. I think there needs to be a lot more discussion if and when it comes to fruition as to what will be covered by it. I'm not sure repairs and maintenance or uniforms might be the place for it. I can tell you I've talked with other chiefs that have actually designated it as a replacement equipment fund. And that will cover things that if we crash a cruiser, if we get a drone shot out of the sky on a tactical situation, things like that, that will be dipped into. We'll be able to get things back on the road and kind of run normal. So I do hear in other departments that it is working, it is there. I don't know how much of it should come out of the operating budget and what items would be best suited to be covered under that fund. So I just wanted to bring those points up. And I do have a concern and I guess I'll use the term kneecapped. I don't want to be kneecapped in the sense that we're going to take money out of the operating budget. We're going to ask for a warrant article for this amount. And if the wording isn't in the warrant article, that if it is defeated, then we need to add this to whatever. I can't be kneecapped in which I lose out of the budget and this gets defeated on the floor, and then next thing you know, I've got nothing that
That's a
year.
risk I see as well.
No, well, I don't think we do it that way. What I think,
Okay.
what I think we do is we go through and we calculate in here what we think that number would be going forward, and we start to say to the voters that we're going to put away, we're going to fund this over 3 years. So we think it's $40,000, we're going to fund it over 3 years. So this year we're going to put $12,500 into that account, whatever the number is, and we leave your budget as it is.
Okay.
And then next year, when that's gone through and we've got the 12,500, we can reduce your budget by that amount, because we've got the money set and we put another 12,500 and we keep going on that way.
Eliminate the risk.
Yeah.
So again, to be clear, I just want to make sure I understand. At one point, it was talked about something that's both police and fire.
I think it's separate.
They're gonna be separate.
Separate and distinct, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that just creates a level of complication. I think that the police chief needs to run his own expendable trust fund. I think the fire chief needs to run his own expendable trust fund, or whatever, yeah.
And the concern about, I'm concerned that it's gonna get voted down, again, have all of you been to town meeting?
I know.
99.9% of everybody raises their hands yes to everything, so I understand the
I can't
pessimistic,
remember the last
but
time something was
that is not a justifiable argument in this particular case, because the only things that have been voted down, they ended up passing anyway, because they kept getting brought back to the voters, so that is not, it's not a valid concern, because it doesn't happen. It hasn't happened, it's not going to happen, because 160 people, out of the 160, 136 always vote yes, and that's the majority.
If it's a fire department item, they bring 60 people with them, and it passes by a supermajority every time. There
I
you
think
go.
what you're gonna like about this is that it reduces your, it's actually on the opposite side of what you're worried about. It actually reduces your budget risk going forward, because if you do have something that doesn't go well, you know, you are gonna have more than 1 year's worth of money eventually in that expendable trust fund. So you'll have a little insurance policy that covers you, and it'll actually keep your budget under control, so.
And I would suspect, and certainly hope that, if and when such a warrant article is produced, that you and the selectmen will get together and produce it with your input, obviously, otherwise there's no point in doing it. And you can certainly tailor it, I would think, to meet your concerns and your needs. So, and we're not talking about this year.
We're talking about maybe trying to do it this year. for-
Oh, are we?
for a small-
I thought you said next year, but that's
Well,
okay.
introducing one, keeping the
Ah,
budget the same.
I see.
but
Budget's the same, but
introducing-
I see,
and then
yeah.
next year we can
Yeah,
effectively,
you could put $1 in it to introduce it if you wanted to.
or put $10,000 into
Yeah.
it, introduce it.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good. So,
Good idea.
anything else you want to add to this?
No.
All right, well, thank you for coming tonight, appreciate it.
Okay.
So is there any other discussion on the police budget?
I'd make a motion to approve the police budget 4210 in the amount of $551,652.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
Thank
all
you.
for your time. I
Yeah.
appreciate it greatly.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Municipal buildings. So I have two things on this budget that I'd like to see, have a discussion on. And they are the town office improvements, which have gone up from 2 to 8,000, and then the transfer station electric.
Sorry, Rob, say that again, please.
The town office, like 5 lines down, town office improvements.
Yep.
Gone from, we spent very little this year, when I last looked. And they're going up to 8,000. And my sense is we're gonna be doing a project here anyway, when the police station moves out. And there's gonna be hopefully a warrant article for improvements, capital reserve fund for those improvements. And so I'd like to see that money move out of here into the capital reserve fund.
What's the intent of the 8 grand?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was several small things, and it related to renovating the old police station area, and also putting some security here when the police move, because we have a false sense of security with them being here.
Okay, and that's all in the warrant article proposal,
Yeah.
capital reserve fund that comes through CIP.
Yep.
So, so I don't know why that would be in here then. And then, I know when is the, solar kicking in?
I think the expectation was for maybe late spring, early summer.
Okay, and that's, I think, probably why there's $2,800 in here transfers in the budget request.
Put it back to 28.
Yeah.
Take 4,800 out.
No.
No, take the
$8,800.
8,800 out.
Sorry, which line?
The transfer station electric is about, I don't know, about 60% of the way down.
Gotcha, I found it.
8,800.
$181,624.
Can I back up to town office improvements? I just remembered the bulkhead too that Jack had brought up. So there's lots of little projects.
We were gonna put it back to the 2,000, right?
Yeah, and the rest will just come out. We'll get it. I'm assuming we're gonna do a warrant article for that area.
I frankly have to say that I feel like you're cornering the selectmen into doing warrant articles that they haven't discussed or.
I don't know why you would say I'm cornering them into doing that. It's been discussed by CIP, it's been brought up. That work that you suggest that you went through the whole way was work that was in CIP that suggested a capital reserve, credit capital reserve fund for. And I don't know why we'd do a whole bunch of work in one little area when we're gonna have to renovate a whole section of the building anyway. And we just wouldn't do it all at one time. And if the selectmen would have between now and the, actually, I take, you know what, I take huge offense to what you just said.
Yeah.
I really do. I actually find it to be absolutely contrary to the spirit of what's gone on here, and the amount of work we've done in getting this committee together, and the amount of work we've done. For you to say that is outrageous, to say the least. Really.
That's
This,
okay.
this committee's only worked, and we put these budgets together and the capital funds together, and we've done all that work to make this town better. So for you to say that is totally unattached to reality.
And if the selectmen had something to say, there's two of them sitting right here.
Well, I have to agree that it forces our hand.
No, we have.
No, there's no forcing.
That's
I-
actually
No,
not true.
I understand why you're doing what you're doing. But it was put into the budget, and you're taking it out and you're forcing our hand, that if we want to do this, we have to present it as a warrant article.
You
don't
have
That's
to
forcing
do
our
it.
hand,
There's not,
period.
you also have, you have a February, we have until February 12th. We can come back and revisit this budget if you decide not to do a capital fund for the improvements here. But everything I've seen, all the work that's gone into it would suggest that's where you're gonna go down, the road you're gonna go down. If it doesn't happen, then we can come back and readjust the budget. But trust me, Bob, if you want to play, I've played games with the best. So I'm not forcing anybody's hand here. I'm trying to be open and transparent, and you know it.
I'm not saying you're not.
Okay.
Well, it's perspective. It's just perspective.
But it's not, okay, but I'm not saying to you, I'm not bringing it as a negative connotation that we're trying to jack you. Right? I'm not trying to jack you at all. We're totally, everything I lay out, and why I do it, why it's open, what's happening, all the issues, try to resolve what happened with the police station. So to get that comment is just so untoward, really. Okay, is there any more discussion on this?
No.
We're good.
Can I get a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve municipal buildings 4194. I think I wrote the total down right. $181,624.
Yep.
That is correct.
Motion. One seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Aye.
So it's 5-1, Ashley.
Finance.
Finance and interesting tax collection.
What's that?
This is the software one.
So, I think the two open issues in here, were the tax software and the clear government budget software.
I'd like to ask the budget committee to table this till their next meeting. The department heads are getting a presentation on the budget software on Friday, and on the payroll software, I have input from 2 towns that have evaluated multiple softwares, and I don't have all that information put together yet.
Does anybody have any issue with tabling it?
I have no problem tabling it, but this should have been done prior to the budget even being presented to us. Once again, this is doing cart after the horse, and if we hadn't asked the question, I don't know as if, and we just passed this, I don't know as if any due diligence would have occurred. I move to table 4150 finance admin to our next meeting.
Second?
Any discussion? I just want to note for the record that there was an email communication back in September saying that we were going to proceed with this budget software, that we should arrange for it to be on the agenda and for a presentation to come to the budget committee, which never happened. All in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay, next one is personnel administration.
Yeah. We got a sheet somewhere. And we haven't done the solid waste transfer station budget yet. So I'm not sure how we can actually approve financial administration if we haven't approved the budget for the transfer station, which includes the salaries. I guess I'll ask for clarification from someone on that.
I think we should postpone it until we do the transfer station.
Okay. I also want to see, even if we have to go into
Yep.
non-public, I want to see the breakout for it. So,
And I know it wasn't in the one that you received on Friday, but it is in the one that's given to you tonight,
Still thinking of
okay, well, I'll
because the selectmen did do non-public with the transfer station last night.
okay. I think we'll table it until next time.
I'd make a motion to table the solid waste budget 4324.
Personnel.
I'm sorry,
41.
Personnel administration, 4155.
Second.
Any discussion? I have one other question on this. I just want to understand, there may just be a payment timing issue, but whether the 40,000 right now, the health insurance in the actual is $40,000 below what we budgeted last year. So I'd like to understand what that deficit is.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. And then I'd also sent an email, and this was late, so just getting the rates. You can just get the sheet that shows the rates for our files for health, for the health insurance.
Okay,
You know,
sure.
by family, individual. Thank you.
You want to do number 2 first on the table? and then come back to
Yeah,
number
let's
one?
do number 2. Come on. Yeah.
The solid waste supervisor's here to answer questions. Okay.
The seat over here, Chris.
The hot seat. Okay. So, I don't know who has what. I mean, for me, I have I have a general overlying comment, and I don't, I'm just speaking 100% to the budget here. But I've seen a cost analysis as to what our costs are as compared to other equivalent towns, and that doesn't look great. So that's an issue that exists. I also then am looking at, I don't know whether anybody's done anything to take a look at tipping fees and disposal fees as relates to what we're paying, as opposed to what the market is for that right now. So, and I also have a concern that we basically signed, it would seem to me that we signed $1.5 million contract without getting competitive bids on it. So, and then I have some questions that I still don't really understand what's going on the compensation front here. And I don't know whether that's for public session or not.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go into non-public
Okay.
on the compensation.
I could try to address it prior to non-public. It might, when I came, there
I
were,
think I've got that, Chris. I think I've got
there were,
that.
3 full-time employees at the transfer station and the supervisor who's part-time. And then, one of the employees retired and the transfer station tried to operate with him being part-time as well. It's been determined that we need to go back to 3 full-time people with the supervisor and have all of the part-timers be on the per diem line. So this budget is built to put the staff at the transfer station back to where they were. And that's in line with the number of personnel that man transfer stations in other towns around us.
So how many full-time people are we gonna end up having?
3,
Plus Chris?
yes.
And so what's going on with the recycling system 2?
That will be the new hire.
So there'll be a full-time, what we're reflecting here is somebody who's gonna work 19 or 7.5 hours, is that right?
This, we've got 2 full-timers here, myself. This is the full-time that retired. So if somebody slides into this position, then we'll just be replacing that person. These figures here reflect the difference between what he's making and what we'll have to pay somebody else. And this figure here reflects, if you look in here,
Yeah.
there's a different figure.
I'm sorry, look over here, right?
Yep.
That's the per diems.
Yeah. So this is a new figure
Yeah.
because we talked a couple of sessions ago about how much we spent and how much we're asking for. So that was basically the same as what we spent flat. And so it's 3,000 basically different, maybe a little more than 3,000 different. And most of this will come around, probably not be spent the way it's, it'll most likely be less. But we have to shift positions around a little bit. So in order to make sure that we can, when, if the town decides to go out, we have to make it attractive. And we have to shift around some of that funding to make it work.
So right now, Don Freya and Estes are here, right? And they're
Correct.
full-time, right? So that's nine's changing. You're here. And then there's this other person here. Is Colbert working still?
Correct, yes.
But working 60% of the time.
Right.
And so and is earning this rate.
Correct.
So this amount here is not committed. This
Correct.
additional amount is not committed.
Correct.
Okay, get it.
That's what we reduced. And, depending on the shift in personnel, the difference here will make up the difference.
Okay, well, you have a very different number to me. Yours is 220 and mine's 298. Oh, I think there's a mistake on the sheet. Right? Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So if you want that.
So that number's the same.
Yeah.
Well, no, not quite. The number's changed too.
This is equivalent to the budget.
Okay, that's the budget. That's the budget. Okay, and then this number here is different. So that number's totally different.
But because this number reflects, I believe we spoke, and this number reflects 7 months, not 12 months, because of the hiring.
We need to go back and revisit this budget.
Yeah, because that number's, that, we don't have the number in the budget. We have a much higher number in the budget.
Yep.
So Swanton needs to go back and revisit.
Yeah, and
this.
I think you should take a look at your per diem, because you didn't spend about a third of that.
Yeah, that was why we dropped it down.
Okay,
We should revisit that.
So I don't have that budget. I don't have this revised budget.
Did the Selectmen pass a revised budget for the transfer station?
Yes,
Well, we don't have that.
No.
personnel budget, but not. Oh, no, not the transfer station, sorry.
Just the personnel budget.
Yeah.
Just the personnel.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's going to be on the
election.
transfer station
It
budget.
must be a
too.
different transfer station budget. It's the one I've been working off isn't the right budget then.
So we don't have the right budget.
Get the same one that we did.
But
Can-
to the
can-
point, if the personnel budget has changed,
Yeah, it needs
this
to reflect-
budget should be different.
Yeah.
So we need to have the correct budget. The selectmen need to approve the correct budget. So that's a mistake that needs to be corrected.
Get that.
Yeah.
So,
Because of the personnel change.
I don't want to take any more from this line.
No,
Yeah.
we need to-
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a motion, we table this budget till the next meeting when we can have the proper information.
Second. Second.
Yeah, it's wrong. These
Second.
lines. Good.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, thank you. Sorry to keep you, I didn't even realize you were out there. Sorry to keep you so late. Thank you, you too. So I'm assuming we'll see a revised numbers or revised. His numbers are totally different. Unless he just has wrong numbers. So you're showing.
Yeah, I don't know. I will meet with him tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Do you want to go to non-public?
Yes, we do
What is- Should we approve the highway and streets budget? So why don't we go ahead and work on the highways and streets budget? So I think right now, our expenses, are all the bills in for that, so what's still gonna come in still? We said those last week of December?
It all depends what he's ordered, yeah.
No,
Anything that
but for the
was,
snowstorms, right, for the labor and rates?
yeah, so, just specific to highway, that would probably be most of it, would be if he ordered sand the last week of December, things like that.
Okay, so we got all the labor bills in, all the rates, all the.
Oh, yeah, labor's all done,
That's all in?
Mhm.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it would just be
So it's not a big,
materials
it's
or
not,
repairs.
so we're $100,000 over, on our expenses for 2025 versus the, and, yeah, and so, which is about where this budget is right now for 2026, and obviously it's highly weather and storm related. I also think to the extent we have a mild year, they probably get more tree work done in the budget, just likely what happens. I would very much, I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Audrey, or Dave, or Bob, but I don't think we have a really good handle on how we manage and look at the expenses from the road agent. And I would very much like to see something that breaks out materials, salt, sand, all that we use by year, and then what each kind of storm costs us. So we can get like a handle on, well, we're gonna have 10 storms, this is how much it's gonna cost us. We're gonna have, and sort of take a look and see what it looks like, you know, on a per item kind of budget basis, so we can have control and make sure that what we're paying kind of makes sense in each invoice.
Okay, so is this adding to the open request items?
It's like a management tool. We tried to start last year, going forward, like looking at each storm. This is a 6-inch storm. This is what it cost us. It's $12,500 in him clearing, snow plowing, all that stuff. This is the January 18th storm. It was 2 feet. Cost us $25,000 to clear. And if you can just pull up this invoice, just so we kind of have an idea. So when he sends us a bill for $18,000 for a 3-inch snowstorm, we kind of know why is that like that. You know, so it's kind of the way
No,
we manage our road over here.
Right, I understand the request, I'm just asking you, is that, are we?
No, it's for next year, and we're not going to get it this year.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can still write it down, and I think it would be good if we had it so that we can start to work on this in April. Because I'm going to mention in April, I'd like to have it by like when we're sitting down this time next year. Well, whoever's chairing this committee may want to have it. But having said all that, and having looked at what's gone on with winter here and the work and the maintenance and all that, I'm thinking that we need to approve the budget as proposed by the selectmen.
I don't have the piece of paper with me, I could run and get it if you want. But Selectman Alby had put together the number of miles of road per town, and it cost approximately $18,000 for Tufton Borough to maintain a mile of road, if you take the budget divided by roads, just simple math, compared to, I think Alton was 22, Ossipee was 24,000 per mile of road. Just as a really rough, this is what it looks like, but.
Yeah, I think we need, which is great, I'd like to see the math, or it'd also be good, not tonight, but it'll be
Yeah,
good to
I'm
see.
always curious too, is it worth having an in-house highway department, but.
Right, well,
Yeah.
that's, and how those costs are accumulated and what they represent.
Right.
You know, as on an apples-to-apples basis, so. All right, so is there any discussion? Anybody have anything to say, want to say on this?
No.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve highways and streets 4312 in the amount of $828,100.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0. Okay. I forget, we tabled solid waste already.
I know.
No,
Don't want it to stay.
Well, it's on, it's actually not even on the agenda.
it's on the agenda now.
It's not on the list. it's-
I'm looking at it.
We did table it,
Yeah, so it just stays tabled.
we tabled, but we'll probably to do the non-public.
Yeah. Trying to make a motion.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to go into non-public under 91A compensation personnel.
I'll second.
Gonna take a roll call vote, say your name. Yes, Rorston.
Yes, Sawyer?
Yes, Brendan.
Yes, Daphne.
Yes, Pike.
Yes, Lawler.
Okay.
All right, we're coming out of non-public. Can we get a vote to,
I make a motion to come out of non-public.
Second. Pike, aye.
Lawler, aye.
Rorston, aye.
Sawyer, aye.
Goffrin, aye.
Daphne, aye.
Are you
Okay,
gonna seal the minutes?
yeah.
Yes, please.
And for how
So-
long?
Indefinitely.
Let's see the minutes. But they won't
Then
be
it's
sealed.
a vote too, right?
Yeah, we will.
I make a motion to seal the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Pike, aye.
Lawler, aye.
Rorston, aye.
Sawyer, aye.
Goffrin, aye. Daphne, aye.
Before you go to the police station, are you gonna revisit the town clerk?
Yeah.
We should revisit,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
to
revisit
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Let's get that
Get it
taken
done.
care of.
Get it done.
Yep.
Move on.
I got
Yeah,
34
that-
minutes of your time, man.
I know, I wanted to stay for
That special election
Thank
snuck up on us.
you. We much appreciate your,
Yes,
thank
your
you.
dedication was noted. And feel free to call me, as I said.
I will be calling you tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All right,
Election. The number on that.
okay, do we have that budget? We have it, it was handed out, right?
Yep.
Just a small change.
Yeah.
And the information was handed out before. We got that earlier.
I'm okay with it.
Changes, yeah. So can I get a motion?
Unfortunately due to a special election.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I just don't have the number.
Yeah, do you have the number then?
Kevin, do you have the
I don't
number?
have the one.
Here.
If I have the most recent one, okay, you do.
You've already approved this, so you need a motion to reconsider.
Right.
Did you already approve this?
Yeah, they need
Yes.
that.
I make a motion to reconsider 4140 election and registration.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Can I get a motion to approve? Could we-
Make a motion to approve 4140 election and registration in the amount of 113,325.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0.
5.
5, sorry.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah. Should have gone before I left. Police department update. I'm gonna ask, can we see the updated expense report that goes along with it? You know, what you spent, can we update? That sheet you had back, we saw in sometime in September. Can I get that sheet? Anything of note going on? I saw the siding went up, looks nice.
I think they have started on plumbing and electrical.
Yeah, plumbing, electrical, security system was in there the other day. The siders are working at a glacial pace, but I guess they're using it as a filler, I don't know, but it's looking good anyways. But inside work is commencing.
Good. It's gonna be pretty cold siding right now.
The well.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh yeah, the well is drilled, 440 feet, 15 gallons a minute.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice well.
Yeah.
It's a well.
Wish I had that.
We just,
We just approved a pump and a
Nice.
tank system last night.
Great.
Good. Did we test the water yet?
I don't know.
It's gonna be hard water, we
They
know
probably-
that.
not until,
Look at
uh,
Granite State.
not until the pump system is in place,
Okay.
I'm sure.
So that's,
But having lived right next door, it's good water.
Let's go to water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have good water.
but I think that's pretty much the PD, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna review, so next meeting, we're gonna spend some time, I wanna go back, now we've got all the budgets in place. I'd like to get that sheet, Ashley updated completely. And I
Which
want
sheet?
sorry, this one here,
The summary.
the summary. That one there, completely updated, and then I wanna get the one that I did to talk from, that we provided at the hearing.
Yeah, I've just been waiting for the year end to come in, so I'll
Okay.
that in for you.
Perfect, and then we'll go through, we'll spend some time, I wanna go back and look at the budgets compared to our year-end actual, to make sure I really understand what those were.
On revenue, I'm really interested in seeing how much we've made on recycling different areas too. Some of that may or may not even be feasible of doing, but
Okay,
it's worth looking at.
yep,
Yep.
I'm with you. And then, so are you not gonna, is there gonna be no work on money articles until
20th,
the
right?
20th?
So we
Yeah,
can
we're not
just-
meeting again till the 20th.
So we can just scrap that. as well.
Okay. And you have the capital reserve information, right? Don't you know?
The,
Well, we have packets.
Yeah, the packets, right?
Yeah,
that you got,
I mean,
yeah.
that's up to date, I
Yeah,
assume, right?
that's all, that's the most
okay,
current.
Yeah,
Yes.
Grace and best.
yeah, matter of fact, I got it right in my book here.
Capital
Okay.
reserve, capital improvement, yes.
All right. Anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'd make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.